Okay, so they are going with the standard God comp here against the Kraken once again. Looking for that amazing damage amp lightning gun combo. Maybe even a damage amped mine, although that is difficult against a Kraken.
You know, and I'm really surprised they're doing this, and I don't know that we should still be calling this the God comp, because now that the harpoons do so much, I don't know that I agree with the Maggie pick, especially right now with Kraken still being able to move while he does Aftershock. I know that Cyril doesn't generally take Aftershock, but still, you know, it's kind of an interesting play. Just because they literally have no ability to pull the Kraken out of the air. If he wants to stay up there and punish them, you know, like once he's got somebody down, if he wants to hop up in the air, he can get high enough that Markov cannot damage him with the damage amp, but is going to have to switch entirely to the assault rifle.
Yeah, you're right. And I did make a mistake before. I said MedLab. That was the previous round. It was not changed at the point in time when I saw it. So we will be playing on Fusion Plant for this final deciding game number 5. And here we go, right here. Cyril, the monster player for Eyes on You, playing against the Hunter team from my KPV. We have Infernalish playing Assault as Markov. We have Hims playing Medic as Kyra. We have Memphis playing Support as Cabot. And we have Vax playing the Trapper as Maggie. And of course, everyone's favorite Trapjaw, Daisy, pulling up the lead.
You know, Vax's pick makes a lot more sense now that I know that this is the map that they're on, just because this is kind of, they're expecting Cyril to be able to get to stage 3, as he always has done. And so now picking Maggie gives them the ability to abuse that L-wall geometry, which is probably, you know, if they're going to end up having to go to a stage 3 fight, that's going to be their best option. But then again, with this composition, they kind of do resign themselves to a stage 3 fight, because they're not really going to have the ability to pull that Kraken out of the air to be able to do their main source of damage.
Yeah, you know, I think you're right about that right there. It looks like they are prepping for a stage 3 fight. Hopefully they will be able to use that L-wall to their advantage. Alright, and let's get some outlines right there. Okay, so it looks like they're actually trying to take out that Sloth. Infernalish a little bit away from the rest of the group, off by himself.
Yep. You know, we call this Crowbill Canyon, and this is a fantastic place for any monster to set up if he wants to figure out a way to dodge, because the Trapper either needs to commit to the far side of the canyon in order to prevent him from going south, or he needs to commit to the other side of the canyon. There's no way for an Assault and Medic to be able to force a monster to go in a particular direction, because that Kraken can just hop right over the top of them and run the other way. And Trapper's not going to be able to get around that giant rock in time. That, and if they do end up engaging right here where the Assault is, there's a nice Sloth there to add in that extra damage.
Yeah, and look at that, waiting for Trapper and Support to move around the other side. He spotted it with the smell and ducks right over them. Infernalish doing what he can with that machine gun, but I mean, it's not enough. It did barely over a bar of armor to him, and he's going to get away scot-free.
Yep, that's perfect play there on Cyril's part. There's not a whole lot a Hunter team can do about that. The only way that I've really seen that pulled off is if they get into a Cloak Dome situation where the Kraken is unable to smell the Trapper Hunter, or the Trapper support team coming up on him there. You know, though I will say that Cabot was able to get his dust tag off there at the end, so they are able to just kind of pull some blinking shots, but it's not enough to make a difference as he does pull up to full armor. He is almost ready to evolve. I think just 2 more little meat snacks. Oh, there he is. Yep, and he's able to pull them around the outside of this building. He is going to be able to make the distance he needs to evolve as he moves his way over. I would expect him to jump over the Pit of Death. And then, oh wow, caught on the side of the wall there.
Either that or he was sniffing the wall, I'm not sure which.
But he is able to just kind of fly over the top of the Pit of Death here. It is going to take those Hunters quite a while to be able to navigate that without full jetpack, so he is going to be able to pull his Evolve off in this back corner.
Yeah, and look at that. Hunter's hot on his trail right now, just following those tracks. He's not even really bothering to try and hide it anymore. He knows that they can see him. He just needs to get distance and get that stage 2 off. And he's going to keep going. Oh, well, he triggers birds right there. So even if they were about to lose his trail, they're definitely not now.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of the optimal play for him here. He's going to be able to evolve. Maggie's going to be the only one on him. I'm not sure if her dome is up though yet, and it does
Oh,
look
yeah.
like it is. So they are going to get the dome, but Cyril's going to have a whole lot of burst, and I don't know if his team is close enough. It's all going to depend on how close they can get by the time he evolves. Cyril going again for that lightning strike build, which is very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very telling. He's going to back off now, though. I mean, he has no armor in this Stage 2 Dome, already down to about 75% life. Cabot with the damage amp, Markov with the lightning gun. Look at that damage! Look at that damage!
This is fantastic. They've almost got him stripped down to about half health. They're doing a great job working their way around the outside, moving as a team.
Comes in with a lightning strike.
The
lightning strike only lands on Daisy, I think. Maybe on the Assault as well.
Yeah, it was just they took the trap around mostly, actually.
Once again.
To have health. Assault.
Once again.
Done.
Yep. Throws out another lightning strike.
Goodness.
Only hits Daisy for sure that time. And, man, they are
Down
doing
below
a
half health.
great job at avoiding this damage. Cyril down below half health. And Team KPV hot on his heels while he's trapped in a corner.
We might just see another big upset here. My KPV might just take their first win off Cyril in this final match.
Yeah. Yeah,
Though
they
we
are
have seen
not
Cyril
going to
come
let
back
up
from
here.
worse. Yep, they're not going down without a fight, that's for sure. Cyril able to grab this 3-meat snack, which is going to give him more than enough armor to feel comfortable at least sniping back at them.
I'm amazed at how much damage they were able to dish out on him with that damage amp and the lightning gun. Most
that's
teams
the beauty
have
of
not
Cabot.
been able to pull that combo off yet.
It's the beauty of Cabot. They got him in a great dome where he wasn't able to put, like, even though he was able to fly up, there was kind of a ceiling there, so he wasn't able to put the kind of vertical distance he needed to be able to separate from Markov's lightning gun.
Yeah, we've seen so many teams attempt to do that here today in this 5th Sunday Cup, but every single time, one of the two players necessary for the combo is out of position.
You know, he's able to get the sloth out too. That's good 4-meat snack, but it's interesting that we see Kraken players so often going for those larger wildlife, trying to take them out in a
And look at that
wow,
dome! We have a dome come down!
Fantastic.
This could be very, very bad for Cyril. Now, this is not the greatest place to fight a Kraken, but we can see Cabot is already ready with that damage amp. Oh, he does switch the lightning gun to the railgun now, knowing that that's the best way to chase Cyril out of his current position. Look at that, just railing away at him.
Yeah, Cyril unable to seem to make his abilities productive here, just not having quite enough burst to be able to follow up the way that he does with his combos. Memphis just absolutely railing away on the Kraken. Nobody else seems to actually be in position to be able to do much here.
Tries to lightning strike the Assault. Assault down to 50% life, but you know that's not going to phase him. Their healing is so on point today.
Absolutely. Hims is actually probably a rival for Lord Death. Like, I'm doing
Look at that. Cabot with the lightning gun once again. Chases Cyril to the other side of the arena. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is not the greatest place to get a dome.
Yeah, this is a much better place for Kraken to be able to engage and be able to mitigate damage here. And the dome does go down. Kraken probably going to look to run straight through the center of the power relay here in order to kind of shrink off the damage. Yep, and there he goes.
Yeah, and he's going to get away right here. Going to finish armoring up. Now, you know, he is just barely now getting halfway to a Stage 3 evolve.
It's true, but I think that this is going to be a lot of the distance that he needs, though it's going to be really hard for him to be able to pull that evolve off before they're able to get another dome up, and that's the big concern, is that Cyril has been getting... Cyril's been kind of YOLO evolving out in front of everything, even after, you know, I think he came out and said that that's how he lost that last match, where that's how he ended up losing the match, or almost lost the last match, that they almost took it off of the last match, so it's interesting to see him try the exact same tactics again.
Yeah. Yeah, this is amazing. Once again, folks, this is game number 5 in this best-of-5 semifinals. This is the deciding round. This is the tiebreaker. Let's get some hype up in chat for both of these teams right here. If you want to see Eyes on You, let's see some PogChamps in chat right now as a live voting poll. And if you want to see Team KPV, the underdogs who have come from nowhere, let's see some... Kriegasms up in chat right now for that upset, that sweet, sweet upset.
All right, and it does look like he just needs a little bit more evolve energy. Probably one more two-meat creature will do it, and he does have quite a bit of distance on them right now. So I'm not sure if it's enough distance to be able to try and comfortably evolve underneath here.
Yeah, I don't think it is. They have the pings on him. They know exactly where he is, and he's got nowhere to go right now.
Triggers his burst with his last meal. He goes for support to try and take out that extra damage amp, but just healing completely on point tonight.
Yeah, they are doing a great job of that, and look at how smart they are, just hanging back rather than jumping in and rushing a dome.
Now, this team has very obviously sat back and realized that, basically, essentially where they've gone wrong with fighting Cyril, and this is a great example of a team being able to adjust their strategy.
Look at his position right now.
Yep, I've seen this many times. There's not a whole lot they can do about this, and I'm not sure, because of the art there, I feel like it was an intended position, but at the same time, it also feels kind of cheap because there's not a way for a hunter to be able to climb to the same position, Aegis.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They knew exactly where he was. And look at that, still holding off on the dome. They don't want to rush it. They want to make sure that they have the dome for a crucial moment. They know they can win with a single dome if they play their cards right. Lightning strike on Memphis here. Memphis, the Cabot support player, down to half health, but quickly healed up.
And knowing that their dome is their biggest weapon right here, Aegis, if they waste that dome, they can basically kiss the game goodbye because a Stage 3 Kraken is more than enough to deal with them, even though they haven't got any strikes on them. However, a Stage 2 Kraken, much easier to catch, much easier to deal with, especially as their team. It's crucial that they land this next dome.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at how tense this is. This is 10 minutes, 50 seconds into the game. We still are only on Stage 2, and this has been a standoff for a couple minutes. Neither team willing to overcommit, waiting for the other one to make a mistake.
I think we're going to see it right here. Cyril making a move out. Trap keeping him in place. Is Vax going to be able to get the dome down in time?
Yeah, he was not able to get close enough. That vortex did hold him off. While he was not hit by it, he did have to wait behind it for him to pass him. And that was all that Cyril, the monster player, needed. And though they are out of though he is able to put some distance, the threat of the dome is still there, which may be enough to keep Cyril from evolving until he feels more comfortable. We have seen him try to bait the dome out quite a few times. I think that's why he stood over the top of there, was trying to bait a dome out of a position where he was able to dome dodge and then secure the safe evolve. Yep, and look at that, now over 100 meters away. I think he is going to get out safely and get that Stage 3 off. He just needs to find that safe spot to evolve, which may be right here behind the building. I think he's going to go right here. Yep.
Right, yep. And it looks like he does get the Warp Blast off. Warp Blast. Looks like he gets the Vortex off, knocking down a few wildlife in advance, though they are closing in directly on top of him.
They dropped the dust tag. I don't think that hit him, though. No, it did not hit him.
They are going to dome him once again right as he comes out of it. It's going to be really difficult for him to deal with this. He's going to have to take out the Trapper.
Backs down to half health. Needs to get healed up right away.
On point. Yep, on point. Unable to make damage stick right now. Cyril trying to dodge around, and I'm not sure that's the right move. Maybe with Cabot, them being able to do damage through the wall, maybe his best move right now is to just try and go ham on Vax and try and get the dome down.
Look at that, Cabot with the lightning gun. Once again, they are kind of out of position, though. This is a really bad spot to fight the monster, especially a Stage 3 fight. Look at that, Cabot with the damage amp. Markov with the lightning gun.
Cyril going down to about a third of his health here. Trying to focus on Vax.
Not letting up with that damage amp. Look at that damage amp and the lightning gun, and he takes the monster to Amsterdam.
Fantastic play here, though unable to protect himself with those Banshee Mines. They are going to close it on his face. He's unable to damage them to blow them up and prevent them from damaging him. Wow, what a fantastic group up there. Oh, wow. Cyril, finally the dome goes down. Cyril limping away from this, hopefully able to catch them in that vortex. And he is able to pull them down and create a little bit of distance for himself. He needs to armor up right now, Aegis, or he's going to lose this fight badly.
Yeah, he has about 2.5 bars of health left. And they're still on him. They're not letting up. Just firing away with that machine gun on the chase.
Yeah, what they need to try and do here is close in as much as they can and continue to prevent the feed to frustrate Cyril and prevent him from gaining that armor that he needs. All right, and it looks like he's having a hard time finding any wildlife on the map here to be able to eat. A single Reaver does not a full coat of armor make.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very rough for him. He has to play it extremely safe right now. But you know what? It looks like they don't want to chase. They're just going to let him armor up. They see how well they're playing, how on point their heals have been. They've done a great job dodging lightning strikes. They're just going to let him armor up and come to them. And they're not even going to exploit the L. Look at this.
This is a really, in my opinion, this is a decision that could cost them the game to try and fight a Kraken out in the open in a position that has completely open skies with no line of sight breaks, really. I mean, yes, those pillars are a great place to fight a Goliath, but that's because a Goliath has to approach you from the ground. Kraken can just fly over the top of you.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe they've decided that they have a better chance out in the open, though. Easier to dodge lightning strikes, that's for sure.
Well, true, and there's less opportunity for the Kraken to be able to kind of shed damage by breaking line of sight. But at the same time, he has much more burst potential than they do at the moment.
He definitely does. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, though. He's going to have to take them down fast. If they can continue with that Cabot damage amp and the Markov lightning gun, even focusing down the medic may be enough time for them to dish out fatal damage to the monster. Once again, dodges a lightning strike. Only Daisy gets hit by it, and they dodge the vortex as well.
Alright, but Daisy does go down to the vortex, which, if they allow her to completely fall, is going to start their dropship timer, which may be an advantage to this team right now.
Yeah.
And they may purposely let her go down. Markov getting singled out. I think that he's already popped his shield, though, hasn't he?
I believe he has, but Cyril will wisely back off. That dropship timer has started. We still have about 3¼ minutes left. Keep in mind, once the clock does hit that 18-minute mark, any sort of combat within 70 meters of each other will freeze the timer. If that timer does max out at 20 minutes, the Hunters win by default.
Interesting point. Not sure if you noticed it here yet, Aegis, but the survival odds right now, according to the game's algorithm, is 50-50.
Yeah, you're right. That is a great point right there. I don't normally pay attention to the survival odds, but I would actually say that's pretty damn accurate right now.
Yep, it takes a lot of things into account there, Aegis. I've heard them talk about how it's developed, and they're doing a fantastic job of putting damage in on him as he tries to approach them. I'm not sure if they got the dust tag off on him or not, as it's not showing a yellow outline, but that Cabot almost, if there's no dust tag, then almost supernatural ability to just kind of forecast where that Kraken is trying to be right now.
Yeah, look at that. And there he goes, coming in for the engage right now. Cyril ready for combat.
Oh, wow. And Memphis is able to dodge the lightning strike coming in. That's going to be a lot of damage they're able to put on him with the damage amp there, but he is going to come down on top of Medic. Now that they've got his armor off, they drop the dome. This is going to be a hard time for him. He is going to be able to almost drop Hims down to a
Hims may go down here, but he has no armor left. They are going to punish him hard. He is down to about a bar of health left right now. Markov lightning gun with that Cabot damage amp. That's what I was talking about. It's too much for him.
Wow. It is over. Medic is back up. I see no way for Cyril to win this. Just one more railgun almost is going to finish it for him.
Yep, and he ducks away again. We hear that alarm right there, that countdown timer, that precious countdown timer, signaling to the Hunters that 2 minutes is left, and Cabot finishes it with the railgun. Wow.
GG. What an upset today, Aegis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this has been an exciting day of Evolve, man. Look at that healing, 32k healing done from the medic Kyra Hims. What a great player.
Ugh, that team has obviously done a lot of work together. They were obviously able to come back after 2 devastating losses. Well, at least I guess, one devastating loss. They were obviously able to adjust their tactics in the last match and then fine-tune it this match to really, really pull ahead of Cyril there. Really, really impressive play. Wow. Bugsy is going to have his work cut out for this Hunter team.